Ahoy, my friends. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy Scorpid's tales. And with that, enjoy the video.
Scorpid awoke from a nightmare in the creaky cabin of the wobbly ship. Orc rogues from the Horde, moonlit blades threatening his existence, haunted his dreams. Panic fluttered in his chest, but relief washed over as he realized he was alive. Bounding up from his chair, disoriented, he found his night elf guide in the galley, sleeping. Scorpid questioned their location. The elf, wide-eyed, slipped away in embarrassment. On the ship's deck, instead of a gritty port, Scorpid was met by an unfamiliar dock. Darnassus, the home of the night elves. Trees touched the sky, casting an otherworldly glow. The elf guide had vanished. Alone in the mystifying city, Scorpid stumbled upon the leather worker's haven. The deviate scales he'd collected from cobras were useful in the crafting of a mighty belt. With nimble fingers and newfound purpose, Scorpid shaped light hides into chunky leather pads, securing them to his shoulders. He looked much more imposing with these bulky shoulder pads. The transformation continued. Scorpid's skilled hands fashioned sturdy gauntlets, completing the ensemble. Scorpid noted the change from his usual all-black attire. Sure, he looked less cool now, but, as they say, form follows function. At least now he'd be better prepared for a real attack. Scorpid pondered how to contribute to the community that had become his temporary haven. The idea of waiting idly for the next vessel grated against his restless spirit. Instead, he resolved to lend a hand to the night elves of Teldrassil. The elves assigned Scorpid diverse tasks to aid their community. Collecting random things like forest mushrooms became a common mission. The elusive fungi apparently had magical qualities. Scorpid had no idea why the elves wanted them so much. Scorpid waded through serene ponds, plucking delicate lilies for the elven ladies. One daring task involved venturing into a creepy cave to gather spider eggs. This time, however, luckily, they were not intended for consumption. Among the more mystical requests was the collection of sparkling water, the magical holy kind, from the shimmering moon wells all over the forest. The elves even tasked him with collecting giant demonic pine cones. The purpose? A prank on a satyr, a mischievous creature. Astonishingly, the satyr fell for the ruse, devouring the foul-smelling pine cones before transforming into an unsuspecting toad. Scorpid couldn't help but notice the night elves' pride in their physical prowess. Leaders of the elves, like Jimbros, flaunted their muscular physiques, asserting dominance by displaying their upper bodies for all to bear witness. Despite appearing very manly on the outside, Mr. Talonroot, the elven leader of a town called Dolinar, entrusted Scorpid with a strange mission, retrieving his emerald dream catcher stolen by mischievous furbolgs. He was having scary nightmares sleeping without it. Scorpid set about rescuing the dream catcher from the furbolgs, humanoid bear creatures who made their dwellings within giant logs. In the heart of Teldrassil, besides a serene lake, Scorpid stumbled upon an unusual sight that ignited his ire. A Horde druid, in the form of a peculiar lion creature, casually disrupted the night elves' meticulously tended planters. Scorpid's eyes narrowed in fury. This Horde fiend dared to infiltrate Alliance land? The audacity fueled a rage within Scorpid. Scorpid chased the intruder, fueled by a burning determination to rid the land of this unwelcome menace. The Horde druid, agile and quick, leapt into a nearby lake, transforming into an aquatic sea lion-like creature for a swift escape. Scorpid brought out his trusty boomstick, surprisingly effective underwater, and fired forth the mightiest shot a boomstick has ever shot, slowing the druid down long enough to allow Scorpid to reach the land before the druid could escape firing range. Once they reached the shore, the Horde druid, finally realizing he could have taken on Scorpid, unleashed a torrent of retaliatory strikes. Scorpid found himself in a fight for his life. However, the earlier damage inflicted on the druid during the pursuit had taken its toll, and the druid, injured and weakened, was defeated by the far less powerful Scorpid. No doubt embarrassing for the druid, considering the druid's mighty raiding gear. Sometimes the little dog can prevail against a much larger dog, if the little dog pretends to be a wolf. At least that theory had worked this time, thankfully. Denelin, the night elf in charge of the planters, barely acknowledged the triumph. Instead, he issued another task to Scorpid, the collection of giant sprouts, baby seedling swamp monsters infesting the area around the lake. Scorpid couldn't resist asking Darnassus about the purpose of gathering the peculiar sprouts. The Night Elf's response was a dark look, hinting that the seedlings would meet an unfortunate end. Deep within the forest, Scorpid had an unexpected conversation with giant, glowing purple plants. To his bewilderment, these sentient flora not only spoke but offered silver coins for delivering their fruit to Darnassus. Huh, weird. Scorpid collected a silvery spinneret, a sacred part of a giant silver spider driven mad by corruption, revered by night elves. Returning to Darnassus, a towering, exceedingly muscular figure directed Scorpid's attention to the coastal town of Oberdeen.
Listen, small fry. Think you're Biggie Cheese running all over the forest playing collector boy for the residents? Think. Again. I got this job because I'm good at doing important things, unlike you. You want to really earn favor with the Night Elves? Finish up fast and get your sorry human ass to Darkshore.
Scorpid hurried to finish up his duties in Teldrassil. It was clear the Archdruid himself wanted his human face gone from the city.
Thank you so much for bringing this sacred spinneret to our holy temple. I will ask you to assist in gently placing the spinneret into the fountain below. Sathra was once revered among our... What are you doing, sir?
Scorpid chucked the spinneret off the ledge into the fountain below. He didn't have time for this. Returning to Teldrassil's heart, Scorpid presented the strange fruit to Darnassus. As it rooted, tiny timberling swamp monsters emerged, attacking with unruly vigor. Unfazed and more irritated than threatened, Scorpid kicked them into submission and left quickly. Tomorrow promised more serious endeavors in Darkshore and Oberdeen. The vessel awaited, ready to carry him from Teldrassil's mystical allure to tasks more befitting of a seasoned mercenary. Scorpid readied himself for the challenges beyond. He would prove himself to the Archdruid or die trying.